Okay, so following on from the previous video, what I did on the Sunday, the day after, was I hired a box trailer. So I ordered it. When I got to the shop, the trailer I ordered wasn't there, but a smaller one was, just a single wheel. It was a fairly, had a fairly big sort of a box trailer. So, I took it to the nearest industrial estate I knew, and on a Sunday at 10:30 there was just a ton of traffic. It actually took me about close to an hour, about 10 minutes short of an hour, to go 14 kilometres. So I got there and practiced backing. Took me an hour to take it back, so out of a 4-hour rental I only used 2 hours of it. But get this, I jump in the truck with the instructor and I just nailed it. Just instantly, I just put it in reverse and backed straight into like a side road, and just you couldn't believe it. He said not only did I nail it, I also knew exactly what to do, which way to turn the steering wheel, and I just backed it around straight into the side street. So he just sat down and he couldn't believe it. He said, I'll tick it off. So anyway, when I booked the trailer, the guy on the phone said that it opens at 8 o'clock. Opens at 8 o'clock. So I get there at 8 o'clock. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to get there. And I get there at 8 o'clock and I see that it opens at 10 o'clock, so I had to drive back. So that's another 45 minutes to an hour. And I waited around until I could get back there at 10 o'clock. So it was quite a morning. But anyway, as the instructor said, it's the best $25 he's heard of anybody investing, so I suppose he's right in that respect. However, when I get my licence, a couple of weeks from now, over Christmas, I'll rent a box trailer and just have another go, just reinforce what I've learnt. But I actually recommend anybody wanting to reverse a semi-trailer or have backing experience, get the smallest trailer you can get. The reason I say that is because the smaller the trailer, the closer it is to the car, the more dramatic the effects of any steering is. So it really enforces which way you should turn the steering wheel to get the trailer to do what you want it to do. So I did everything. I did straight reversing down a street. I recommend you practice going down a hill or reversing down a hill. The reason for that is there's less stress on your clutch and your gearbox and your engine, because you start reversing up a hill, you're letting out the clutch, you get piston slap, you get the whole drivetrain sort of clashing, and yeah. So reverse going down a hill, and try reversing around like a side street, and reverse to the right, reverse to the left. That's what I recommend. So my advice to anybody wanting to get a semi-trailer license or a tractor-trailer license, do that before you book your test, before you book your first lesson. Get a trailer and practice backing around the place. Okay, so all in all, it was a good lesson, especially the start of the lesson. As the instructor said, there was some very impressive driving work with the gearbox, lane position and everything. However, again, toward the end of the lesson, I did sort of fumble with the gearbox a couple of times, but nowhere near, not like previous lessons. I am definitely improving. Like the previous lesson, I had a lot of success by not watching any YouTube videos. I didn't watch any YouTube videos, and as I said before, I say it again, learn the truck that your instructor has, learn how to drive that particular truck, learn to drive the streets where your instructor takes you, and learn to drive the way your instructor wants you to drive. That's the best advice I can give. I find that possibly YouTube videos complicate the learning experience. From now on, it'll be only 1.5 hours instead of 2-hour lessons. So that's probably a good thing. The mistake I made with this lesson was not straddling the roundabouts. When I say straddling the roundabouts, I mean here at least where I'm working, when you take a roundabout with a semi-trailer, or when you go around a roundabout, what you're supposed to do is actually go on the middle line and take up the whole of the roundabout and block anybody from passing you on the left or the right. And I've got to be honest, the first roundabout I did properly, but there were a couple, well actually there was only one where I forgot to straddle the roundabout, and the rear of the trailer went onto an unbroken line, and I suppose if I was being tested, which I think I was, I suppose I failed at that point. Today's Sunday, the day after the lesson, and I went to Newcastle today, and I found the layout pretty good. Just having a look around, GPS not reliable, maps, there's no real maps that you can take with you. You can take your phone. I find that fairly limited as well. Actually, as a side story, I went shopping, and on the way to shopping up in Newcastle, I saw a few people setting up on the side of the road and a few motorbikes around. Anyway, I went shopping. About 15-20 minutes later, I go down the same road but in the opposite direction, and I was caught up with thousands and thousands of motorbikes, just hundreds and hundreds of motorbikes going down the road. They were in the left lane, I was in the right lane, and a whole lot of people and kids and cameras and waving on my left hand side. And I was sort of at the very start of a motorbike procession, a Christmas procession, and yeah, it's pretty unreal. The previous lesson, the instructor made the comment that I've always been able to drive the truck from day one. From the day I got in the truck, I've been able to drive and go through the gears and everything, and but it's really just polishing off and making everything second nature, so that I don't have to think about anything, and just getting it completely 100%. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but anybody that's hung out with this video so far, I'll just let you know that I've got a truck GPS, and it sent me up here, and there's a great big sort of interchange built here. It's a new one. You go along, and that's your entrance point to Newcastle. What my GPS did was it brought me way up here, and whether it was going to route me, I was actually aiming for here. I programmed an address in here, so the logical way to go would be just along here, but no, it sent me way up here, and must have been going to bring me down here. I'm not too sure. So yeah. Then the next scale you've got is like that. It's a bit probably further up, looking at the map. So there's Sydney and there's Newcastle, and you can make out some names of places. And then, believe it or not, the next scale is that, and that, believe it or not, is actually that area there, and this is Newcastle. And there's really just there's nothing you can do with that map. Okay, so let's have a look at the Truckies Atlas. Okay, so we can see Newcastle there. There's no actual, you can't make out any names of the roads or numbers of the roads, so all you can see really is there's Sydney and there's Newcastle. Okay, and then we've got a section here for Newcastle, that's okay, but all the numbers of the roads have actually changed. Okay, so that's just about 100% identical map. Like that's to there, and we can see this major road here, and that's the fork there. Well, here we can see that's to there, that's the major road there, and there's the fork there. Okay. However, we can see that this is now the A15 all the way along here, and this is down as 133 all the way along there. This is 111 down here, and that is the A43. And that's to say it's now the A43. On the map it's 123, and here we can see it's now the A37. Okay, so this is the same company as the previous one, but this is a four-wheel drive Atlas. So with this one we can see there's Newcastle, just give you an idea of the scale. There's Newcastle, and so Sydney would be down here. But again, what have we got now? We've got A43. So if we were going to Newcastle, we'd be able to see that we're supposed to get onto the M1. So that's a help, that's something. And then we'd take the A15 to Newcastle. Yeah, A15. Yeah, that's actually all correct. So this would be a better map for a truck driver. Okay, and that's it. There's no now we're up to the ACT. So yeah, so I really can't do anything with these. They'd just be taking up space if I was to take them on a truck journey to a place I hadn't been to before. The best one out of the three is the 4x4 Atlas, but I can't do anything with this.